Earl, I'll start with you. Game 4 was obviously tough for the Cavs. Led in the first half, up 9, and then a collapse in the second, 29 total points. Where do you point the finger at? Who deserves the most blame for that second half collapse in Game 4? Game 5 now, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, series tied at 2-2, but we'll focus on Game 4 for today's discussion.
Oh, JB Bickerstaff deserved the most blame for that. You didn't make any halftime adjustments, man, and then you let your mentee come out here and blitz your entire team 37-10 in the third quarter, right? Like the fact that you did nothing to stop momentum.
How do you score 10 points in 12 minutes?
I want to know all these different runs that the Magic went on in the third quarter. Why didn't you utilize timeouts when they was going on an 8-0 run, 9-0 run? Like JB Bickerstaff didn't. I don't think he did much to help his team out in that situation. When Orlando came out and they made adjustments and they started clawing back and eventually tied the game up and then they just took off on us, you should have called a timeout. You should have tried a different lineup. You should have tried something. And, you know, I get it in the NBA. It's more of a player thing than a coach thing. But I love, like, leaders of men. I love master motivators. I love people that can light a fire up under you. Like where was the cameraman that on the sideline during one of those timeouts? And you would have just loved to see JB Bickerstaff say, hey, come on, man, let's get your head in the game. Let's go out here, like, light a fire under somebody's ass to where.
Do you hear his post-game comments?
I'm tired of listening to that.
Bro, I have never, in all of my years covering sports, heard a coach, manager say less about the actual game after games. He's got no answers. Well, you know, when bad things are happening to us out there, we gotta bring our heads together and we gotta remain positive.
Thank you, Jay. That's not specific.
Specific. What about the game?
What about
He never gets into the weeds with the X's and the O's. I'm at a total. I'm not sure they can win this series. I am not sure they win this series.
It was really hard to watch, and I'm not gonna lie, I was so pissed off. I was so frustrated, just like every one of us, just like every single Cavs fan. 37-10 in the third quarter.
Dude, in the second half, we scored 29.
We scored 29 points.
It wasn't quite as bad because they had a 26-point lead against the Clippers. But the offense that we saw in the second half against the Clippers is the offense we've seen in Orlando. That you don't have, with all the talent that he has on this roster, you can't figure out how to score points with this team? I don't care who's playing defense. You got to score more than 29 and a half. If they do that for two halves in a row, they score 58.
Yeah.
58!
Mr. Gilbert, where's the camera? Mr.
Do
Gilbert,
this one here.
Yeah, Mr. Gilbert. I want to talk to you real talk. My name is G. Bush, and
I drive a.
I'm in a Nissan right now, but I used to drive a Range Rovers, bro. But listen, this is embarrassing, and you have to take this personally. I know you're a proud dude. I know you're a champion. I know you done brought a championship here, and you know what championships basketball is. It starts from the top, and I know you'll do anything to win because I done seen you spend checks. I done seen you go back and get LeBron. I done seen you go over the luxury tax. But after that performance in Game 4. Your general manager, you don't have one. He needs to go. I'm sorry. His prized possessions that he came out here, you need shooting, we need shooting, we need shooting. You wouldn't got these two shooters. George Niang and Matt Strus are on a milk box. Let's talk about the max contract that he gave Darius Garland. Game 3, 5 points. Let's talk about the announcing team. Every single time I turn the television on, people's being an apologist. Well, we're almost down. We're only down 25. Just chip away.
Just get it to single digits.
Listen. This is embarrassing. We got embarrassed by New York. We get embarrassed by a team that has a rebuild that started later than yours. Where are you at in the rebuild? You keep talking about all these young talent. Guess who's #1 seed in the West? Oklahoma City. You're getting beat by Orlando. Your rebuild ain't looking like much of nothing.
Look at Minnesota.
And look at Minnesota. Where they at? We sitting here making excuses talking about if Evan Mobley develops a jumper, if he becomes Reggie Miller, we'll be good. I ain't got no time for that. You hire nice, soft guys. Everybody is talking about this team in nice terms. You're nice and soft. Like McDonald's soft serve ice cream from the top down. Your coach don't know what he's doing. He sits there like this as you get blown out 2 games in a row by 80 points. And if you went on the internet, I hear another one person say this. You on the doggone internet talk about, well, that happens in the league. Do you get blown out by 39 sometimes and people don't go show up? How is that even possible? How is that excusable? When you play sports, there's a lot of dudes out there, and I don't go to this card. Maybe y'all didn't play nothing when you grew up. You know what they do? Maybe you didn't do anything. Maybe you like being mediocre. Maybe that's the reason you ain't got you're not going nowhere in your job. You don't do anything in life because mediocre is fine. You keep telling me every time we say something about these people, oh my gosh, just calm down. You're being unreasonable. Unreasonable, you see what unreasonable gets you? Blown out by 80 points on the road. And I don't care if y'all beat Orlando. They still got to go. Because guess what? This team ain't got it in here. They snatch your heart, and it's nice having a bunch of nice guys and Boy Scouts of America, but they ain't never winning no championship. You think you gonna go out here and beat the Celtics? You know it. Kobe Bryant and LeBron James and Michael Jordan eat people's hearts for living in the playoffs. You got guys around there dapping it up, talking about if we lose by 40 or lose by 2, we still lost. What is that? What is that? What is this? And I'm looking like Adam the Bull, the dark version. I don't know what to do this. And we got to watch this every single game with the coach saying, well, it was a bear in the street. That's why we couldn't hit any 3-pointers. And the guys were open. We just got down a little bit. Stop it. These 51 win games. I told y'all you should have did that last year. You ran it back. We ain't taking it. We're not running nothing back. There will be changes or people won't show up. I'm sorry. I'll watch the Guardians. I'm fair weather anyway. I'll go see Stephen vote. I ain't got no time to come down there and talk about these apologists with these games. I'm sorry I took up too much time. Get these dudes out of here.
No, you didn't take up enough. I can watch that all day long.
Yo, it's so funny. It's on my Twitter, man, and whoever followed me on Twitter, y'all can go see it. But I said after the game, I am finding a more and more appreciation for that 2016 team from the top to the bottom. Every day that we get removed from that championship, the toughness, the grittiness, right? The will to win. They used to step the term we be using in the streets now, like we stepping on everything. We stepping on shit. That's what we basically say, right? Yeah. The Cavs used to step on shit. This Cavs team, they ain't stepping on nothing.
They run from it.
They don't assert themselves mentally, physically, or nothing like that. And y'all know I'm a huge, huge Donovan Mitchell fan. And my boy, he gets up there and he says the right things all the times, man. But Spider, 4 shot attempts in the second half, bro. That cannot happen, man.
To me, that was a message.
That cannot happen. 0 points, that cannot happen.
I feel like more than anything, that was a message.
I don't have it in my notes, but I think my man scored, Mike, help me out.
18.
I think my man scored somewhere between 53 and 58 points in games 1 and 2 combined. He scored 20, 31, 32. I added up, it was minus 21. That's where we at. My star player can't be minus 21. This team goes as far as Donovan Mitchell goes, right? And honestly, if it wasn't for Donovan Mitchell, this team wouldn't even be a play-in team. We seen what this team is like when he's not there, when he's not on his game. We need Donovan Mitchell to be on his game. Leaders got to lead, ballers got to ball. You got to step up, and we need more from him because sadly, I don't know who else we going to get anything else from when it comes to the players that's on the court in this series.
I'm terrified that we lose Game 5 in Cleveland and then go to.
We bet not.
Does anybody think that we can find a way to beat Orlando in Orlando?
No, but I'll say
they look
this.
like the world champs.
I'll say this: the only positive I can say, Orlando don't look like they can beat us in Cleveland, right?
No.
And if everything holds serve, we win this game and we win this in 7 games. But who the hell on this panel feels comfortable or confident in the Cavs, even if you win it in 7 games?
I don't think they win it in 7 games.
Nobody.
I think that the way things are shaping up right now, they're more likely to lose it in 7 games. Orlando was closer to winning a game on the road than the Cavs ever dreamed of in this series.
At least they play hard.
They got it to 4 and 6 points, I think, in the fourth quarter, even though the one game was a blowout. But they got them close in the second half at certain point.
In Game 2, it got
6?
just on the fringe. No, it never got into single digits. It got just on the fringe of being okay, Cavs got to pick their shit up.
No, I think they got it to single digits, Mike, in the fourth quarter.
I thought it was the single digits.
Yeah, I think they did.
Game 2?
Game 2.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Go check the game tracker. I'm pretty sure they did.
Go ahead.
The bottom line is this. This team with this coach will win nothing. The reason I thought it was time to pivot at the coach position last year,
you said that,
is because how many years in the progression are you going to waste? The Donovan Mitchell experiment right now, we talk about, the Deshaun Watson experiment is only 40% through. The Donovan Mitchell experiment is over. He's not coming back. Why would he?
Joe Varden wrote a great article in The Athletic, and he said, this current Cavs team as constructed with Donovan Mitchell, it's time to have that hard conversation.
Well,
that it didn't work. But here's the thing. I'm not quick to say that Donovan Mitchell isn't coming back. I want to try to do everything I can to keep this dude, right? Maybe you need to change out the pieces around him. I don't know. I don't know if trading Donovan Mitchell is the right answer. As far as the coach thing, us being a year too late, I am a firm believer we should have hired either Nick Nurse or Ime last year when we had the opportunity. Yeah. If you look at what Ime is doing with the Houston Rockets right now, the Rockets ain't had no business being a team that was 500, teetering around 500, etc. So, when you go to that part of it, but here's the other part of it. And not to cut you off, G, because I need you to cook again. I compared this to the offseason with the Cleveland Browns last year. We kept saying the Browns got this hole, and it was up for Andrew Berry to go out there and buy some more groceries and see what Kevin Stefanski can do with it. Kevin Stefanski went out here and he won Coach of the Year. Okay, Kobe Altman did the same thing. Now, I don't know if Kobe Altman went to the same grocery store or not as Andrew Berry did, because clearly the products that he brought back is not giving the same return on investment. And what the point I'm making is, even with the shooting, even with everything that happened when Darius Garland and Evan Mobley was hurt, it was like everything was being served up on a platter for JB to figure out how to make this thing better, and he still couldn't do it.
No, the one thing I go back to is, and he stepped in it on accident, was the run from January into mid-February when they were 18-2 with Mobley and Garland out.
Right.
For whatever reason, they figured it out. I think Jarrett Allen is more important to this team than either Mobley or Garland. Laugh at me if you want, Mike.
I'm not. No, he's the second best player, second most important player.
He's the second most important player. And Mike, would you agree he's been the most consistent player in the series?
And to me, when I advocated during the injuries to Mobley and Garland and our ascension, I said, well, this is it. This is what winning looks like. This is the best Cavs basketball I had seen from a non-LeBron team, and statistically, they did things that LeBron never did with the Cavs team. Their point differential in that 18-2 run,
plus 303.
It never been done before.
The one thing, Jay, from that 20-game stretch that baffles me why the Cavs aren't going back to is during that 20-game stretch, the whole team was hot. Everyone was making shots.
Yep.
But they were taking a ton of threes, 39.5.
I know they were.
3-point attempts per game in that 20-game stretch. They had 17 3-point attempts in Game 4. To me, that's inexcusable. And JB deserves a lot of the blame. The players, and especially Donovan and Darius, are way too talented to put up this little offensive production, regardless of who's coaching.
Have you ever seen Jekyll and Hyde more than this?
No.
Have you ever seen a team's high end and low end so dramatically separated? I haven't.
We should bad job out of us because they haven't been consistent since pre-All-Star break.
Mike, I got a question.
One sec, Earl.
If that's the case.
Hold on, one sec. They've only won back-to-back games since the All-Star break, once in the regular
season. After 18-2, they were under 500.
It was just that last 2-game stretch against Memphis and then Indiana.
And
with Anthony at the bench, if Anthony was coaching this team, they still have enough offensive talent not to put out the last 2 offensive production.
That's why I can't understand this.
Everyone outside of Jarrett Allen, and I mean everyone, top to bottom, is culpable and deserves some blame. Jarrett Allen, you're excused. You have played above expectations. I don't think anyone on the Cavs roster, coach or player, has lived up to what you would baseline minimum expect.
I'm going to give you – tell me the thing that's wrong, the number one thing that is wrong with this team. What is it?
They took 17 threes. You're not going to win in the playoffs.
No, I mean the way they're built. To me, it's the fact that we've seen enough of Darius and Donovan together to know that it is never going to work. It's not. I'm sorry. I said that when he was out and they went nuts. One of the things that most stunned me was that Jarrett Allen's touches per game went up by 40.
I mean,
yeah.
That's almost impossible to do.
I'm gonna just be real. Like y'all people overestimated just how good Darius Garland is. And let's be clear, he's had 1 year, that All-Star year he had. What was the common denominator? He got to dribble around and do whatever he wanted because Colin Sexton was out most of the year.
That's facts.
When you put him with anybody else, where is his numbers gone? It's easy playing around when you ain't got no expectations, one, and no restrictions, two. They didn't want to sign Colin Sexton, so what they do, they put the ball in Darius Garland's hands and say, let's see. Darius is better. We need to roll with Darius. Now, guess what? We've also overestimated what Evan Mobley is. We keep seeing guys that are unicorns. I ask you, he not better than Porzingis, and they gave up on Porzingis 3 times.
Bro, when I said during their 18-2 run,
14-7?
I said, I don't think that we need both these guys. I mean, they were both in there limited, but they weren't there together. And I said, and boy, you'd have thought that I would have said, you need to trade LeBron James in his prime.
People
went
crazy.
Bananas when I said that.
I got it the worst. I said bring DG off the bench, and people thought I was the dumbest person in the world.
When they're in there together, you can see the offense come to a grinding halt. Their ball movement is stale. It's rudimentary. I don't know where to go, but I know this. I think we've seen
at that time
the peak of JB.
At that time when I made that statement that Darius Garland should come off the bench, like I got clowned for it. My whole thought
I advocated trading him.
My whole thought process was this. I'm seeing this team right now without Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. They have success. They shooting a bunch of threes. You know, they playing a 1 in and 4 out. Why not deploy a second unit when you can still do the same thing? Evan Mobley's your 1 in. Darius Garland leads the train on your 4 out.
You would have to
to me, that made sense, but people was making it seem like that it was the worst idea in the world.
Well, the problem is your minutes are going to overlap. You can't play Donovan 24 minutes and Darius 24 minutes.
And then, Mike, the question I have for you, you said, okay, they shot 17 threes. That's inexcusable for guys like Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. On your post-game show, shout out to Mike, too. Like, his Ultimate Cavs post-game show was fire. And he said, if I was JB Bickerstaff, since they embarrassed me, I'm going to embarrass y'all. And I would have left them in the game. So, Mike, my question is to you. If you know, like, as a coach, and you see these dudes are just not willing to shoot, then why not just take them out the damn game? Like, even if it is Donovan Mitchell, okay, Spider, you see, it seems like to me you don't want to shoot the ball. So forget it. Sam, go play.
Yeah, it's
like,
never happens.
I just don't
players
understand
league,
stuff like
and
that.
when coaches do that, it doesn't end well.
He is
not that it's going to end well for him anyhow, because
it ain't going to end well regardless. But you got to try something different.
You always talk about progression. You got to, actually the progression is after years of sucking, you make the playoffs, you lose in the first round. The next year, you win the first round and you lose in the second round. The next year, you're in the conference finals. That's the progression. You know what our progression is? We lost in the play-in game. We won 1 playoff game. Now we're going to win 2 playoff games. That's not enough. Not with this roster.
You cannot. And here's the. And I just want to show you the most damning part of it, because we sat there and we are very pinpoint accurate on the Cleveland Browns, and we've even tracked 4 years of the Deshaun Watson trade. We just got done doing that segment. But let me just tell you about this. We talk about paying over sticker price for something and going upside down and alone. Let's talk about what the Cleveland Cavaliers got going on the next year. 2025, you think they got a first-round pick?
Oh, they don't have first-round pick forever.
That's in Utah. 2026, Utah got that pick. 2027, Utah got that pick. 2028, Utah got that pick. 2029, Utah got that pick. 2030, the San Antonio Spurs got your second-round pick. You don't have a first-round pick until 2030.
Oh, that's not 100% true.
What was the...
Well, they have Utah's first. They just got to switch with Utah 2 of those years. They still have first-round picks.
And when is the first-round pick coming?
Well, they have first-round picks. Just Utah gets the better of the pick.
They swapped. Yeah.
So they still have a first-round pick.
So you pick swapped, and on all these, you gave all this capital away for a guy who you're going to lose for free if you don't trade.
He's got to be traded. He's not coming back to this train wreck.
So
why would he?
Where's the cavalry coming in at?
Did you guys see it was surfacing over the weekend when Shaq said to Donovan Mitchell's face?
That was in Utah.
I know.
Remember we said that?
Yeah, but that's resurfacing.
Yeah,
because it's proven. Shaq's comments are proven to be true.
You can't have when Wagner has 30 plus and he's a rookie or second year player. When Banchero has 30 plus.
Well, that's all effort.
Banchero had 9 points. That's the sad part about it.
This team wants to win.
31.
The Cavs have their own first round pick this year too.
They got their first round pick
this year, yeah.
Okay, good.
That's the Bronny pick.
It's the Bronny pick.
That's the Bronny pick. Me and Michael the same.
I stand corrected. We over here. So they got their first round pick 2024.
They have their own first in 2024. They don't have a first in 25. That's Utah. They have a swap in 26.
Okay, worst pick.
27 is their own again, and 28's the swap.
Now, what is the rule? They can't trade first round picks back-to-back years, right?
It's more complicated than just that.
The reality of the situation, I tweeted this too.
They don't have a ton of assets to trade. That's what you're asking.
Okay.
You know what your plan is?
Get LeBron.
Draft Bronny and get LeBron's ass back in here.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Here's what Cleveland Cavalier basketball has been over the last 20 years without LeBron James. 2 playoff wins. 3.
People laughed at me.
None on the road.
None on the road.
None on the road.
People laughed at me and said, like, I was dead serious. I said, the only thing you got right now is you hope that you draft Bronny, you get LeBron James back here, everything looks better, and you probably look like a team in the East that can be good to the finals. Other than that, if you lose Donovan Mitchell, you already know Darius Garland ain't it, and you're back to being a play-in team.
Listen, for me, people might not agree with this. I'm doing everything in my power still to keep Donovan Mitchell, and I'm keeping Jared Allen. I'm getting a new GM. I'm getting a new coach. I'm trading Evan Mobley, and I'm trading Darius Garland. And I'm trying to
I co-sign all that.
And I'm trying to see, okay, how can I rebuild with Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell?
They are the survivors. They are. The other guys look like imposters.
Yeah.
Mobley had a lot of potential. Might end up being what everyone was.
But when I see Wendell Carter locking you up like that, when I see,
oh my God,
like 2 rebounds, bro, 2 rebounds the game before.
Oh my God.
Like listen.
Let's move on to the Guardians.
Listen.
All right.